ESL U8 Practice 3. With the topic in Practice 3 being shooting and finishing, a great way to warm up is with different juggling variations. We'll start with the simple one bounce juggling. This is a great way to teach players how to start juggling, but it also helps players learn how to hit the ball controlled with their laces. So one bounce juggling is pretty simple. Players are going to drop the ball on the ground, they're going to hit it with their laces, and they're going to catch it. Just simple like that. Again, they're going to drop the ball on the ground, let it bounce, hit with their laces, and then try to catch it. Here, it's all about control and controlling their contact. Even if there's a little bit of chaos, as long as you're seeing progression, go to multiple juggles. Here, you encourage players to, they can start it by dropping it on the ground, but try to get 2 juggles in a row without the ball hitting the ground, maybe even 3. Players will be proud and they'll be happy to show you their success. Next up is first touch control. Here players throw the ball in the air and using their laces, or basically the top of their foot, they try to use a first touch to control the ball by essentially killing it. Some people can call this an egg trap or different types of touches, but the basic thing we're trying to teach the players here is a ball's in the air or a ball's bouncing, and we just use our feet to get it under control as quick as we can. And again, there'll be a lot of crazy bounces, maybe some moments of goofy things, but eventually the players will learn how to control it with their first touch. Of course, a warm-up is no fun without a game, so we're going to find a way to build in the switch game to the juggling warm-up. You're basically going to put half your team in one grid and half in another grid. Now, what you see here is 2 full teams practicing together, so you're not going to have this many kids. You're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 players per group, and each group is going to have their own grid, and it's going to be about 10 or 15 yards away from each other. And the players are going to be working on juggling, whatever variation you tell them, and then you're going to yell switch. And when you yell switch, they leave the ball they're using, they run to the other grid and find a new ball and start juggling again. Coerver Package 3 is specifically designed for the shooting and finishing practice. The setup works like this. Put a line of players on each side of the goalpost. Leave enough space between the lines and the goalpost to minimize the chances a player waiting gets hit with a stray shot. Put a cone 10 to 12 yards in front of each line. The first player in each line starts without a ball. The second player and every other player in line has a ball. This is really important. And so if you have 5 total players in line, there are 4 balls. The first player will run around the cone placed 10 to 12 yards away. The second player will then serve a ball diagonally in front of the first player. It's very important to make sure that it is diagonal. It might take a little while to teach them this. The first player will then take a shot on goal. After the shot, the player will get his or her ball and switch lines. Make sure they take the ball with them when they go to their new line. And also, make sure as players are getting their balls back, they stay totally aware of incoming shots. Now, it is the second player's turn to run. They don't have a ball any longer, of course, because they pass it away. And the third player serves them, and so on. In this session, you can work on shooting with power, finishing with accuracy, one-touch shots, and two-touch shots. Make sure that players are using their left foot when appropriate and also using their right foot when appropriate. It's very important to teach players to strike with both feet. Although this session starts with an empty net, it should progress to having a goalkeeper. Here, it's very important that we keep the goalkeeper safe. Players are not allowed to take big touches to the goalkeeper and then strike from a close distance. They should take a small touch for control, and then they should have a shot. When you choose a goalkeeper, find a volunteer. Don't put players in goal who are not comfortable there, as a lot of shots will be coming in fairly quickly. Also, rotate goalkeepers. Everyone needs to work on shooting and finishing, even though this is a great goalkeeper workout. If you don't have any players who want to be in goal, or if you're not comfortable with any of the players there, you can stand in goal. It's pretty simple. The coach can go in goal and play as a goalkeeper. However, make sure you're not coming out strong or making big diving saves. We want the players to see the ball going into the net and feeling the success of scoring goals. You can also use this session to teach finishing with control. Now, earlier we said no big touches on goal and then cranking it right at the keeper from a few feet away. Here, the players go at the keeper, however, they can't crank it. In fact, they might even dribble straight at the keeper. But each finish should be a controlled finish using the inside or outside of their foot, and it should go to the corner. We tell players, in fact, we model it and reinforce it, that no shot here with a goalkeeper can go in the air. It has to be a quick push pass past the keeper, hopefully into the corner of the net. Finally, it's game time. We're going to show you Belgian 3v3. Here, you're going to need 2 of the slightly bigger goals, typically the 6x12s. You can't always get those, and they're not always going to be enough. So playing a simple 3v3 or 4v4 game with or without subs to a small target or with pug goals is totally fine. However, throughout the season, you should find opportunities to build in Belgian 3v3. Or, of course, you can go 2v2 or 4v4, depending on your numbers. This is a unique way to play it, because players play small-sided, but they get many opportunities to shoot on and practice beating a keeper on the finishes. This is different to just kind of kicking it straight at a small target, because here they work on the things they were working on in Coerver Package 3, where they're slotting it past the keeper into the back corners, and they're taking shots thinking about where the goalkeeper is positioned. In this format, every player plays goalkeeper and as a field player. They play normal small-sided, but every time a goal is scored, a new player goes in goal for each team. So it doesn't matter who scores, there's a new goalkeeper for both teams. When you coach this style, remember the topic, shooting and finishing. Make that your main focus. Don't worry so much about defense and tactics. You can, however, reinforce passing and crossing in front of the goal. In fact, you should be reinforcing skills as well. You should be reinforcing creativity. But at the end of the day, this game is all about scoring goals, about finishing, about becoming crafty and smart and technical when it comes time to try to score a goal. One final note about scrimmaging. Make sure that teams are wearing 2 distinct colors. Here we've got gray shirts and yellow pennies. Make sure you're not using 3 colors like a red and a blue and a yellow. Good luck!